Now electromagnetic induction type relay. Electromagnetic induction type relays are the most commonly used relays. This type of relay operates involving only AC quantities. Since phase difference of two fluxes is only achieved using AC quantities, which is the basic of induction relay, therefore electromagnetic induction type relays do not work using DC quantities. In electromagnetic induction type relays, actuating force or operating force is developed on a moving element, which can be a disc or other form of rotor, and this disc or rotor is non-magnetic current carrying conductor. Normally aluminum disc is used due to its low inertia. Aluminum disc is placed into alternating magnetic field where there is a phase angle difference between two fluxes. The torque or forces is produced on the disc by the interaction of one of the magnetic fluxes with the eddy currents induced in the disc by the other. Therefore, two opposite direction forces are produced in this way, and the resultant force or operating force is just the difference between two forces which are induced due to two fluxes. Now we will discuss how the operating force or torque is produced in an electromagnetic induction relay. Consider a metal disc and two alternating fluxes are linking in this disc. Let's say one flux phi1 and another flux phi2. Due to flux phi1, an EMF is induced in the disc, and this EMF causes the circulation of eddy current I1 in the disc. On the other hand, another flux phi2, and due to this flux phi2, another induced EMF E2 is produced in the disc, and this EMF causes the circulation of eddy current I2 in the disc. Now assume the angle difference between phi1 and phi2 is alpha, where phi2 leads phi1. Also assume the current I1 lags the voltage E1. Similarly, current I2 lags the voltage E2 by equal angle lambda. Also, we know induced EMF lag their respective flux by 90 degree. So E1 lags flux phi1 by 90 degree. Similarly, E2 lags flux phi2 by 90 degree. Now, how the force is produced in this disc? The current produced by one flux reacts with the other flux and vice versa to produce forces that act on the disc. Therefore, we say by the interaction of phi1 with I2 and by the interaction of phi2 and current I1, a driving torque is produced on the rotor, and due to this driving torque or operating force, the disc rotates and a moving contact gets connected with the fixed contact. As a result, trip circuit is closed, and then finally a moving contact of the circuit breaker is opened and isolate the faulty part of the power system. Now we will mathematically derive the equation of operating force on the disk. Let us consider two alternating flux which are linking with the disk. One flux phi1 is equal to phi 1m sin omega t. Another flux is phi2 equal to phi 2m sin omega t plus alpha. Here phi 1m and phi 2m are the maximum values of fluxes, and phi 2 leads phi 1 by an angle alpha. Since the rotor current flows through the aluminum disc, therefore the self-inductance of the current flowing path is neglected. In this condition, if the inductance is neglected, then the voltage and currents will be in phase. So E1 will be in phase of I1. Similarly, E2 and I2 are in phase, and we can say current is proportional to the induced EMF or voltage. Again, this induced voltage is proportional to the rate of change of flux. Hence, this eddy currents or current is also proportional to the rate of change of flux. So we can write I1 proportional to E1, E1 proportional to rate of change of flux, which is d phi 1 dt. Similarly, I2 is proportional to induced EMF E2, and E2 is proportional to d phi 2 dt. So from here we can write I1 proportional to d phi 1 dt. Similarly, I2 proportional to d phi 2 dt. So we write I1 proportional to d phi 1 dt. Similarly, I2 proportional to d phi 2 dt. Now we can substitute phi 1 and phi 2 from equation 1 and 2 respectively, and we get I1 proportional to d phi 1 is equal to phi 1m sin omega t. So after differentiating with respect to t, we get phi 1m cos omega t, which is equation number 3. Similarly, for I2, I2 is proportional to d phi 2 dt, and phi 2 is phi 2m sin omega t plus alpha. So after differentiating with respect to t, we get phi 2m cos omega t plus alpha. Now two forces or two torques are produced due to the interaction of phi 1 with I2 and phi 2 with I1. So we can write force F1 is proportional to phi 1 I2. Similarly, the force Ft, which is due to the flux phi 2, is proportional to phi 2 multiplied by eddy current I1. Now the directions of force F1 and F2 can be obtained by Fleming's left-hand rule, and according to the Fleming's left-hand rule, it can be seen that the two forces are acting in the opposite direction. So you can see from this figure as well, two forces are acting in the opposite directions, and therefore the net force or operating torque acting on the disk is proportional to the difference between two forces, which means operating force or operating torque is proportional to F2 minus F1. So for F2 we can write phi 2 I1, and for F1 we can write phi 1 multiplied by I2. So here, as the phi 2 leads phi 1, so we have written F2 minus F1. Since if phi2 leads phi1, which means F2 is greater than F1, so we have written F2 minus F1. So from here we can write phi2 is equal to phi2m sine omega t, and I1 we can write phi1m cos omega t. Similarly, phi1 we have written phi1m sine omega t, and for I2 we have written phi2m cos omega t plus alpha. So from here, if we take the common phi1m, phi2m, we get sine omega t plus alpha cos omega t minus sine omega t cos of omega t plus alpha, and this is sine a cos b minus sine b cos a. So we have write sine a minus b, this formula, and finally we get operating force or torque is proportional to phi 1m, phi 2m multiplied by the angle between two fluxes, which is alpha. So we find phi 1m, phi 2m sine of alpha, which is the operating force or driving torque, you can say, on the disk. So this is the final equation of operating torque or driving torque, or you can say operating force on the disk, which is proportional to the sine alpha, and due to this force disk will be rotated, and finally it will close the contact of the relay, and due to close the contact of the relay the trip coil will be energized, and finally it will open the moving contact of the circuit breaker to isolate the faulty section of our system. It can be seen that the net force or torque acting on the disk is same at every instant, because it doesn't depend on the frequency. There is no frequency portion in this equation, right? As the operating force or torque acting on the disk is same at every instant, therefore the action of induction relay under such force is free from vibration. So there will be no vibration, as we have seen in the electromagnetic attraction relay. There was a difficulty due to vibration, but in electromagnetic induction relay it is free from vibration. It can be observed from the above equation that if the alpha is 0, then the operating torque is 0 and disk will not rotate. Therefore, there must be some phase difference between two fluxes for operating or for rotating the disk. The torque is maximum when the phase difference is maximum, and in practice various constructions are used to produce the phase displacement between two fluxes.